Well, hello, we got the sloth hiker again here, and I am up at Mount Gilead State Park, and I am just doing overnight. It's Friday, February something. I don't even know what the date is, but just came up for Friday night and Saturday morning, and then tomorrow I'm going to drive up to New York State and see my family, my mother-in-law, and stay on her farm. But just wanted to get out and go camping. John Hickinbotham's going to come later on tonight and join me. And I am sitting in my OneTigris hot tent, and I'll show you around here pretty soon. Just wanted to get out this weekend, clear my head a little bit, and just kind of be by myself here for the next couple of 3 hours, just so I can just kind of chill out. I'm not doing a whole lot anyways. I'm retired, and my wife and I have been going to like some trade shows and some home and garden show, those kinds of things, and we went to a high school play last night, and so we're having a great time being retired. But sometimes I just gotta get out and get away. So I'm into my OneTigris, but this time it's new. I've got my hammock set up in here, as well as my hot stove and all that. So I'll show you that in a little bit. So here's my view from one end of the tent. I can't get back too far here, but there's my view, and here's my hammock. I've got my Econ 100 quilt, my 10 degree. I got my Trailheads top quilt in there, my 15 or 20 degree, and my circadian hammock. That's what I've got. And then of course right here I've got my Pomali wood stove, my T1, and boy, it is putting out the heat here. It's really nice and warm in here. I don't know, I don't have my thermometer adjusted yet. I got to get it off my wrist because it's on my watch. But I can tell you right now it's probably about 60 degrees or 65 in here, and outside it's probably about between maybe 20 and 25. So really nice in here. I'm really enjoying it. I also brought since I have electricity here, I have my little hot stove there. Before I fired up my Pomali, I just used my little heater there, and boy, it raised the temperature in here quite a little bit just having that by itself. So as long as I got some electric, use both of them for a while, really get it nice and warm. So you can see my zipper on the walls here there's 3 zippers, and 2 of them come apart, and you can see my webbing here to hold on to my hammock. It comes right through that little gap, so we don't have to worry about rain coming in or anything like that. There's another one on the other end. It's the same way, and so that's really nice having those 3 zippers. So one zipper can go all the way to the bottom, and you can open it up all the way, but then you don't have to open it up all the way. You can just open it up to about there, and then that still stays the same. Now if I want to vent things, I can unzip those 2 a little bit farther apart. So again, this is a single wall tent, and single wall tents tend to be you get some moisture on them. Then when they get cold, sometimes you get a lot of condensation. Now I always bring a towel to wipe all the condensation off, but if you have a little too much condensation, what you can do is you can just unzip that gap a little bit, and you can then have a vent in each end, and that also is really nice. So you can see I've got some Dutchware bling on here. That's how I have it hooked to my tent. So I just strap it around the tree. Works pretty good. And then you can see right here, this is where it goes in. There's I don't know if I can see inside the tent. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, pretty nice. I don't know if I've said this or mentioned this before, but I get the white cedar wood that they have at the stores, like at Giant Eagle or Kroger or something, and they'll have some. They have some white cedar that sell, and it's from Canada. And what they do is they cut it, but they cut it different lengths there, and they cut it right about 10 inches, which is exactly what my Pomali stove is. It's right around 10 inches, a little bit more than that. And so what happens is I just get that, and then I split that wood. I don't have to cut it in lengths or anything like that. I just get it, and then I have my splitter, and I just split it real easily. So that makes it really easy. If you have a smaller stove, that's a good way to do it. You can also see I have my Eco fan here, and boy, it is just putting out the heat already, and it is really cooking. I can feel that heat clear back here. I mean, I can still feel the air just shooting over here at me. So if you don't have one of those, I really recommend that you get one. It really does spread the heat around in here. It doesn't just go straight up that way. It goes to where you want it. One thing I always do is when I set up, I usually wear some kind of vest here. And then I have usually a couple layers of layers. So I have some long underwear, and then I have some other long underwear over top of it. And that way, it's been snowing today a little bit, just flurries, but enough to get your coat wet if you're outside while I was setting up. So this thing is a little bit damp. And then I kind of got a sweat on while I was putting some of the stuff up, and I also have this is kind of wet too. Now what'll happen is, because I've got my hot tent here, some of this will dry out, but I always bring another undershirt, complete undershirt, and then another layer, another like merino sweater, and then another sweater after that. And those I never put on until I'm pretty well done for the day. That way they're not sweaty, they're not hot, so that when I go to sleep, I don't have any damp stuff on. Now again, it's not quite so serious when I'm here in the hot tent, but you know, it can, because if you get the sweating and stuff, and then when the hot tent goes out, when the stove goes out, then it starts to get cold in here, and if your clothes are damp, you'll get cold. So I always you know, set up in one set, but I always have a dry set that I'm going to sleep in. And it's a little harder if you're backpacking 2 or 3 nights. Then it's kind of hard to, you know, you got to let your stuff air out and things like that. But again, when I'm only going over one night, you know, I've got my stuff that's already packed inside the. Well, actually, it's still in the car. I haven't brought it out in the car yet, but I'll change into those tonight. You know, maybe just before I get ready to sit down and enjoy the fire a little bit. And I usually sit and enjoy the fire for, maybe an hour or so. And spend some time maybe reading the Bible. I've got an app on my phone for that. And so you know, I just always kick back and relax a little bit before I actually get in the hammock. Otherwise, you know, I lay around the hammock for a while getting ready to sleep. So. Here, you can get the OG. Yeah, I saw it on the way over. I'll try to get one of those too. So, yeah. Nothing like a good fire to warm everybody up.
Now these.
Well, I just retired to the hot tent for the evening. I may get out and go again, sit by the campfire a little bit. John brought a bunch of wood, so he's had a campfire. We've been out sitting, talking about lots of different stuff. We've been talking a lot about the revival that's been happening down at Asbury. And, you know, if you haven't followed that, you can Google it and find out. It's pretty interesting stuff going on down there. And of course, as a person of faith, and I know I don't try to preach that to you guys very much, but it is an important part of my life, and it's really neat to see how God's really dealing with, especially under 25, you know, kids from high school and college, Really amazing stuff going on down right now. So I'm in the hot tent. We got the stove going. It's about 73 degrees in here, which is like, it's really glamping, man. I don't have to wear any gloves or anything like that. So yeah, I'll probably spend some time on the internet, maybe make a few posts, and then probably will I've got a Bible app on here. I'll read the Bible a little bit, and then maybe I'll watch a section of The Chosen, which is also something I like to do when I'm out camping. So if anything exciting happens, hopefully we'll have an evening where I can just stay warm. I'm going to keep the fire going for another, probably an hour or so. I got plenty of wood and I can burn through it if I need to. So gonna just sit back and relax and enjoy the evening and try to get a good night's sleep. And then tomorrow I'm gonna tear down pretty quick, head home for just a little bit in Columbus, maybe take a nap for about an hour, and then I'm gonna get in the car and drive to Western New York. So I got another 4-hour trip coming back back here by the Mount Gilead campground. So anyways, we'll catch you in the morning.